Are billionaires afraid of everyone surrounding them? While the lives of the wealthy and famous may be admired, fame and money can have a high cost. Because of their wealth, they're particularly vulnerable to threats from the outside world. Let us get to know more about some of the most heavily guarded billionaires in the world. Number 5 is Jeff Bezos. Ever imagined somebody spending a whopping amount of $1.6 million in security? Imagine being Jeff Bezos, one of the richest people in the world. With great wealth often comes great risk, and Bezos is no exception. He definitely has his fair share of enemies who might want to do him harm. That's why it's no surprise he takes his security seriously. Now, you might be curious about how serious it is. Well, his company Amazon spends a whopping $1.6 million a year on his security alone. This covers everything from top-notch security guards with all the training you can imagine to tricked out, bulletproof cars that can handle anything thrown their way. Whether he's at home, traveling, or even just attending a public event, his security detail is always high on alert, keeping a watchful eye. Bezos even takes things a step further at his office in Seattle. In 2019, they installed special bulletproof panels that are a whopping 1.5 inches thick. These are designed to stop multiple rounds from even a military-grade rifle. Talk about taking precautions. Here, Bezos shows who the real boss is in terms of security. Bezos isn't taking any chances when it comes to security. Not only has he surrounded himself with top executives, but he's also brought in some serious muscle. You'll be surprised to know that he has hired former Secret Service and Marines. This might have something to do with that whole situation back in 2019. Remember that tabloid scandal where his text got leaked? Apparently, it shook things up enough for Bezos to throw a ton of money at his security consultant to make sure nothing like that ever happens again. Number 4 is Mukesh Ambani. Imagine having your army. That's kind of what it's like for Mukesh Ambani, India's richest man. The chairman and primary shareholder of Reliance Industries, Mukesh Ambani is among the world's most guarded billionaires and the richest person in India. Since 2013, he has had a top-notch security detail thanks to the Z+ security cover provided by the Indian government. This is the highest level of protection available, and for good reason. Think about it, a team of over 50 highly trained police officers and elite National Security Guard commandos are on guard duty 24/7. They are with him at home, on the move, and even in public settings, making sure nothing disrupts his day. This security detail isn't just about muscle, though. These professionals are highly skilled and can handle any situation that might arise. You must be thinking that he's much safer under his security cover. It's interesting to note that this level of protection isn't just about feeling safe, there's a practical reason for it too. Ambani's business activities take him all over India and sometimes even abroad. While the core security team travels with him throughout Maharashtra, additional security arrangements are made by the state he's visiting. It's a foolproof system designed to keep him secure no matter where he goes. Of course, all this top-notch security doesn't come cheap. Ambani foots the bill for the entire operation, including the living quarters, food, and other necessities of his security team. Mercedes and Range Rovers adorn Mukesh Ambani's security convoy. He expanded his security fleet earlier this year by adding a number of white Mercedes AMG G63 vehicles. Ambani's favorite vehicle, a bulletproof BMW, is guarded by these vehicles. Number 3 is Mark Zuckerberg. This name brings in a lot of love, since Mark is the one controlling our leisure time now. After all, he owns Facebook and Instagram, and that is where most of us spend most of our time now. Don't you agree with that? Imagine this, Mark Zuckerberg, the billionaire co-founder of Meta, formerly Facebook, is guarded like a safe with billions of dollars. With a net worth of over $100 billion and a huge role in society, it's no surprise he needs first-class security. In fact, Zuckerberg's personal protection costs are some of the highest, rivaling even Jeff Bezos. Here's the twist. A report revealed that Meta has spent over $40 million on Zuckerberg's security in just 3 years. This might seem reasonable, but it gets interesting. Mark and his wife, Priscilla Chan, through their foundation, also donate millions to organizations that advocate for defunding the police. Hold on, you must be wondering what the foundation is. Let's clarify that. Organizations like Solitar, which support reducing police budgets, have received millions from Zuckerberg himself. Things get even more interesting now. Meta recently increased Zuckerberg's security budget by $4 million, bringing his annual protection cost to a whopping $14 million in 2023. It's understandable that Meta wants to keep their CEO safe, especially considering his family is involved. But some folks can't help but raise an eyebrow at the significant spending on security while simultaneously supporting police defunding initiatives. Is it hypocrisy or is there more to the story? What do you think? Number 2 is Donald Trump. As you all know, Trump is not only a billionaire but also the former president of the USA. For over 50 years, the US Secret Service has provided lifetime protection to previous presidents. However, none of their benefactors have been as exceptional as the former President Donald Trump. It seems like Trump and the Secret Service are not a match made in heaven. Agree or not? Talk about VIP security. In the case of Donald Trump, the billionaire who used to be the boss of the entire America gets top-notch protection for life. That's right, even after leaving the office, he always has a crew of highly trained secret agents watching his back. These guys are like ninjas, experts at spotting danger and making sure nothing bad happens. They keep his fancy houses safe and him even safer 24/7. Ever thought about how much protection a former president like Trump really needs? Well, it depends on how long they were in office and if there are any enemies out there with bad intentions. Security might be a little more relaxed, like when Trump grabs a bite at a restaurant. The Secret Service will still check the place out and make sure the staff aren't, criminals, but it won't be as intense as when he was running the country. The fun fact is that the Secret Service was never formed to protect presidents. They actually started in 1865 to catch people making fake money after the Civil War. It wasn't until 1901, after the sad event of President McKinley getting assassinated, that they became the presidential protectors of all you know today. Number 1 is Vladimir Putin. Everyone is familiar with this name now. Ever since the Russia-to-Ukraine war began, Putin has consistently been in the news. Now, you must be like, why is his name on the list? After all, he is a politician and not a billionaire. Sorry to tell you that you are wrong. Many sources suggest that he's probably the richest Russian in the world with a net worth of billions. Did you know that Russian President Vladimir Putin is one of the most heavily guarded people in the world? Despite the controversies surrounding his wealth, his security measures are top-notch, with estimates suggesting he may be worth billions of dollars. The Federal Protective Service, a highly secretive and elite agency, is in charge of keeping Putin safe. It would be best if you were in deep thought about realizing the similarity between FSO and Secret Service in the USA. Similar to the US Secret Service, the FSO has a large budget and access to advanced technology. In fact, there are thousands of people in Putin's security detail, including both visible and covert agents. These agents undergo extensive training in close protection, advanced surveillance techniques, and counterterrorism. According to 2 Russian officials who have been to a bunch of public events with President Vladimir Putin and a source close to the Kremlin, the Moscow Times find out something pretty interesting. It turns out that Russia's special services have really ramped up the security measures around Putin to a whole new level. Keeping Putin safe is a super big deal for the Kremlin. In fact, the team considers Putin's life more precious than their own life. Strange, then what else do you call this? In fact, a Russian official at the May 9 Victory Day parade told the Moscow Times that a whole army of visible and invisible guards protect him. It's wild, but Putin's life is basically in the hands of the special services, who even use a portable lab to test every meal for poison. And get this, Putin always travels with personal chefs and brings his groceries, as an insider split to the Moscow Times. Plus, there's this particular team of policemen who travel with Putin and inspect every meal before he eats. Pretty intense, right? Since at least 2023, Putin has worn body armor to public outdoor events, including those held in Moscow. It seems like being a billionaire and a politician is not an easy role to play. Any thoughts on that? Do you think a lot of money and time is simply wasted on these bodyguards and securities? Do share your thoughts on this in the comment section. For more interesting stories and updates, subscribe to our channel, and do not forget to press the bell icon for notifications. Goodbye.